In a quaint and quiet town, a young woman named Emily found herself alone in her family's old Victorian home. The house, with its creaking floors and eerie whispers, had always been a source of unease for Emily. But tonight, the unsettling atmosphere seemed to intensify, as if the house itself was alive and breathing. Emily had always been fascinated by the macabre, and her curiosity led her to explore the dark corners of the house. As she ventured into the dusty attic, she stumbled upon a mysterious, ancient book. Its pages were filled with cryptic symbols and ominous illustrations, and as she read the words aloud, a cold shiver ran down her spine. Unbeknownst to Emily, her recitation had awakened a malevolent force that had been dormant for centuries. The shadows in the house began to twist and contort, taking on sinister forms that preyed upon her deepest fears. The once familiar home transformed into a labyrinth of terror, with each room revealing a new nightmare. As Emily navigated the haunted halls, she encountered grotesque creatures and vengeful spirits, each more terrifying than the last. Her heart raced, and her breaths grew shallow as she desperately searched for an escape from the relentless horrors. In one room, she found herself face to face with a monstrous, spider-like creature that seemed to feed on her fear of insects. In another, she was confronted by the ghost of a long-dead relative who tormented her with guilt over unresolved family conflicts. Each encounter forced Emily to confront her own internal fears and anxieties, making the experience all the more terrifying one. As the night wore on, Emily began to realize that the house was not only a reflection of her own fears, but also a manifestation of the town's dark history. The spirits that haunted the house were once residents of the town, each with their own tragic story to tell. As Emily delved deeper into the house's secrets, she uncovered tales of betrayal, murder, and unspeakable acts that had been buried for generations. In her darkest moment, Emily realized that the key to her survival lay within her own fears. She had to confront the terrors that haunted her, both within the house and within herself. Drawing upon her courage and determination, she faced each nightmare head-on, refusing to let them consume her. With each conquered fear, the house began to lose its power over her. The shadows receded, and the creatures vanished into the darkness. As the sun began to rise, the house returned to its former state, and Emily emerged, forever changed by her harrowing ordeal. But the ancient book remained, its secrets waiting to be unleashed once more, and in the quiet town, the whispers of the old Victorian home continued, a chilling reminder that some horrors are never truly gone. As Emily moved on with her life, she couldn't shake the feeling that the house still held secrets yet to be discovered, and that the darkness within its walls would one day call to her again. Months had passed since Emily's harrowing experience in the old Victorian home, and life in the quiet town had seemingly returned to normal. However, Emily couldn't shake the feeling that the darkness within the house still lingered, waiting for the right moment to strike again. One day, as Emily walked through the town's ancient forest, she stumbled upon a hidden, overgrown path. Her curiosity piqued. She decided to follow it, hoping it might lead her to some answers about the town's dark history. The path led her to a long-forgotten cemetery, where the tombstones of the town's former residents lay hidden beneath a thick layer of moss and ivy. As Emily wandered through the cemetery, she felt an inexplicable connection to the spirits that rested there. She could sense their pain and sorrow, and she knew that their stories were somehow intertwined with her own. Determined to uncover the truth, Emily began to research the town's past, delving into old records and speaking with the town's elders. Her investigation revealed a series of tragic events that had befallen the town over the centuries. Fires, plagues, and unsolved murders had left a dark stain on the town's history, and it seemed that the spirits of those who had suffered were still seeking justice and closure. Emily knew that she had to help these restless souls find peace, but she also knew that she couldn't do it alone. She enlisted the help of her friends, who shared her passion for the supernatural and the unknown. Together, they formed a group, dedicated to uncovering the town's secrets and putting the spirits to rest. As they delved deeper into the town's history, they discovered that the ancient book Emily had found in the Victorian home was the key to unlocking the town's dark past. The book contained powerful spells and rituals that could summon the spirits and help them find the peace they so desperately sought. With each spirit they encountered, Emily and her friends faced new challenges and horrors. They battled vengeful ghosts, banished malevolent entities, and uncovered long-buried secrets that threatened to tear the town apart. But through it all, they remained steadfast in their mission to bring peace to the restless souls that haunted their town. As the group continued their work, they began to gain the trust and respect of the townspeople, who had once dismissed them as mere ghost hunters. They became known as the town's protectors, guardians of the secrets that lay hidden beneath the surface. And though the darkness within the old Victorian home still whispered its sinister secrets, Emily knew that she and her friends were now better equipped to face whatever horrors it might hold. Together, they stood as a beacon of light against the shadows, ready to confront the unknown and protect their town from the darkness that threatened to consume it. Emily and her friends continued their mission to uncover the town's dark secrets and help the restless spirits find peace. As they delved deeper into the mysteries surrounding the ancient book, they discovered that it had once belonged to a powerful witch who had lived in the town centuries ago. This witch, known as the Countess, had been feared and respected by the townspeople, who believed that she held the key to life and death itself. The group learned that the Countess had been betrayed by her own apprentice, who had sought to steal her power and use it for his own nefarious purposes. In a desperate attempt to protect the town from the apprentice's evil, the Countess had hidden the ancient book in the old Victorian home, hoping that it would remain undiscovered for all eternity. However, the Countess's spirit had remained trapped within the book, unable to find peace until her power was restored and the apprentice's dark legacy was undone. Emily and her friends knew that they had to help the Countess, but they also understood that they were dealing with forces beyond their comprehension. As they continued their quest, they encountered new challenges and dangers. They faced off against the vengeful spirits of the apprentice's victims, who had been cursed to wander the earth for all eternity. They also discovered that the apprentice's dark magic had seeped into the very fabric of the town, corrupting the souls of the living and turning them against one another. Despite the overwhelming odds, Emily and her friends remained steadfast in their mission. They studied the ancient book, learning the spells and rituals necessary to cleanse the town of the apprentice's evil influence and free the Countess's spirit. They also sought out the descendants of those who had been cursed by the apprentice, helping them to break the chains of their dark heritage and find redemption. As the group's reputation grew, they found themselves at the center of a battle between the forces of light and darkness. The town's residents, once skeptical of their abilities, now looked to them for guidance and protection. Emily and her friends knew that they had a responsibility to protect their town and its people, and they vowed to do whatever it took to ensure their safety. In a final confrontation with the apprentice's spirit, Emily and her friends managed to banish him to the realm of shadows, breaking his hold on the town and its people. With the apprentice's defeat, the Countess's spirit was finally able to find peace, and she thanked Emily and her friends for their bravery and determination. As the town began to heal from the darkness that had plagued it for centuries, Emily and her friends knew that their work was far from over. They had become the guardians of their town's secrets, and they understood that there would always be new mysteries to uncover and new challenges to face. Together, they continued their mission, using their newfound knowledge and abilities to protect their town and its people from the darkness that threatened to consume them. And as they stood together against the shadows, they knew that they were not alone, for the spirit of the Countess would always be with them, guiding them on their journey and watching over the town that she had once called home.